Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be fishing for tench on a float. This video has 3 days worth of fishing sessions in it. Hope you enjoy. Since we have a bit of a trouble to fish with only the float, I'm also going to be fishing today with meta feeders, and soon it will be dark anyway, so I can't see anything on the float. I do have illuminating floats, but unfortunately I don't have the clips to use it with, so we can't do any float fishing during the dark hours, which will be like 2 hours or so. I don't even know exactly, but we can fish with the meta feeder in the meanwhile, which is going to be absolutely amazing. At least I hope so. I really want to catch some tench because I haven't caught a single tench this year yet, and it's already July 9th. So first things first, let's make ground bait very quickly and let's let it set for a bit, and then we can use it with the meta feeder to catch a few fish. I will not be making a lot of bait. I'm only going to make 1 kilo of bait, and in this bait I will use this meta feeder by Sensas, this 3000 mix. This ground bait is actually meant for tench and carp. Also this includes Prussian and Crucian carp, which there are in this lake, so hopefully we can catch a few of those. And then we'll just add some fluoro flakes. These should do wonders. And for the last thing, we will add this Bonduella corn, as always. This is the best corn for fishing, at least in my opinion. And oh, I almost forgot. We can't forget the butt elixir. This is the red worm elixir once again. I think this thing is absolutely great to add to any ground bait. And I do also have like a secret weapon. This is pulverized maggots, I think. At least that's what it says. Yeah, high in protein, smells like death, but should work for fish. When mixing up ground bait for float fishing, I like to add the base first, then the additives with the attractant and water at the end. I keep adding water until I have the right consistency. Now let's go get some water and mix this thing up. By the way, all around this is full of red ants, and these are like the worst ants you could encounter. They bite and their bite hurts like crazy. This thing actually smells fairly good. I'm quite surprised. And this is how the ground bait looks like. Super perfect. Oh, almost lost some. I'm gonna let it set for a bit, and then we're ready to do some fishing. So what I've done right now is I have a meta feeder over here, and then I have a hair. I know it's a very long hair, but I'll try with the long hair first, and then if it doesn't work, I'll choose a different one, probably a shorter one, maybe 10 to 15 centimeters. And then yeah, I have a hair with 2 pieces of corn on it with a bait stop. I will fill this up and cast it in. I think the hair is done well. I'm not really sure. I'm not a carp fisherman, but it seems very nice. So the way I will be filling up my meta feeder is I'm going to put my bait at the bottom over here in this. Then I'm going to shove loads of bait in here and then press it all together. So this way my bait will be on top of the ground bait that's on the meta feeder, and this will probably grant me a better bite. So I have my bait in here right now, and if I press on the meta feeder mold, it will open up, releasing the bait, and I have this nice mound of bait on the meta feeder with my hook bait right in the middle. Let's cast it in now. So let's see if I can cast it in, avoiding the ants and all the snacks on the way. Yeah, pretty much got it to the clip. Very happy about that. I'm still a bit sad about the fact that I can't do any float fishing. That's the whole reason why I even came here, but let's try to make the most out of it and catch some nice fish on the meta feeder today. There's actually one more spot over there where you can do float fishing, but unfortunately there's 3 people fishing on the same spot. That spot is also taken, and this spot was absolutely ruined because there is no more bridge. But I guess we will see what happens today. And before I forget, there is the fun drink of the day. This is something I found in Lithuania, so this is fully made in Lithuania for better focus. It's called Bright. So this is lemon lime taste, and I think it's going to be very, very good. I really like Lithuanian food and drinks when I was there, so I bet this is going to be good as well. So let's give this a shot. Okay, it's sour, kind of refreshing, so I would say it's actually very good. I think I might have my first fish on. It's nothing big. It's definitely a fish. I think it's a roach or something. Oh. Okay, it was stuck to the bottom. I don't have anything on. For a second I thought I already had a nice fish on, but unfortunately it just got stuck onto this piece of wood. So meta feeder definitely works. So now we have to wait until the big fish arrive and scare all those tiny fish away. Let's go and drop some more bait into the swim, so fish will actually come over here and stay over here feeding, and then I'll have a chance at catching them. Because right now I only have some loose feed, like small particles, but big fish also want bigger baits, so they have something to feed on the ground, and I'm gonna feed them corn. that should be enough for now. I still have like 2 cans of corn left. I've just put on a huge dendrobina worm. As you can see, I just had a nice hit. We should have a fish on any second. They're really going for it. I think it's gonna be a roach or rod, but something was pulling quite hard. I think I might have something on finally. Yep, tiny fish, tiny roach probably. And it swam into the weeds. Nope, it's out. Actually, it's a rod and it's not even that microscopic. That's a pretty nice rod, I'll be honest. Look at that fish. It looks absolutely beautiful. Look at this tiny rod. First fish, let's go! First very decent fish on. I don't know what it is. Oh, it got off! No! Oh, I was playing with it for too long. Oh, actually my hook broke off. Damn, that was a big fish. Okay, now I feel a bit defeated. The night is not over yet because it's only like 10 p.m. We have loads of time to fish. That was a great fish. That felt super good. Something is hitting the dendrobina again. I just need one more good bite and I'm gonna try to hook it. I lost 2 tench today already. They've just come off the hook. There's so many weeds, so they just get off super easily. Hopefully I can catch this fish. Oh, okay. I'll wait a bit more. I put on like a massive dendrobina worm. The thing is as big as a night crawler. Not even kidding. And I guess that was that. No more bites. I've just had a great hit. My bait alarm actually didn't even turn on, which is weird. I just heard my rod starting rattling on the rod pod. Come on. Give it another bite. Look at this rod. I've just caught a big one. That's a very nice rod. Here's a little bonus clip. I decided to go for an overnight fishing session on a big lake just to see if I could manage to catch anything marginal from these vast waters. And I managed to hook into the biggest bream of this summer. Look at this beast. But let's get back to tench fishing with the float. I need to catch a tench since I have not caught a single one this year. I've returned to my good old trusty lake that always delivers and I know I can catch a fish. I love this style of fishing. Just fishing with the float, seeing the float going under and hooking the fish. So let's see if we can hook into a few fish. I think I've seen some rod on top water, so hopefully we can catch a few nice rod. Something's nibbling on my bait. It's on, it's on. Okay, this one is not as big. And I'm not sure if that's a rod or a roach. Let's see. Oh, actually, it's a pretty nice rod. Oh, it's stuck to the grass. Okay, let's see if it can free itself. It did. Nice. Actually, it's a pretty decent rod. Not the biggest one, but not the tiniest fish. Look at that fish. That's pretty nice. Hey, let's put it back into the water and catch a bigger one. Let's see how does this stuff smell. I bet it smells good. Oh yeah, it smells like wild strawberries, not like homegrown strawberries. It smells absolutely amazing. We better get some tench on this. Consistency looking pretty good. Some big particulars and smaller ones. I think this will do wonders for any big fish like bream or tench. Maybe even big rods. Oh, I have a fish on. Oh, it's a big one. What? I was just making bait and I've hooked into something very nice. Oh, it's a bream. Not what I expect. It's a tench. It's a tench. Boys, we caught the first tench. I haven't even assembled my net fully. Oh yes, come here, fishy. And we have our first tench of the year, even though it's already mid-July. Oh yeah, it's a tiny one, but still it's a tench. Oh, I'm so happy about that. I thought that was a tiny bream at first. Let's get some big ones now. We've caught the first tench, now we need to get a bigger one because this was a tiny fella. Hopefully we'll get at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 tench. No, actually if we get one more, I will be very happy, or a big rod. To be honest, I thought today's session will be a disaster because there is a thunder outside. No rain so far over here, thank God, which is very nice. But the wind is super bad and I thought I'm not gonna catch anything, but I just might give it a try. And I am extremely happy that I did give it a try. I'll show you guys my setup right now and how am I using my Waggler right now. So first thing first, let's start with the float. I'm using a 2 gram balsa wood float, and this float is on a swivel that is running on the line and it's stopped on both sides with 2 float stops. So this is what I'm using for my float. The good thing is if you want to switch out your float, you can do it very quickly thanks to this quick switch. So if you want to use a heavier or a lighter float, you can do it fairly easily. Then I have my main line until this connection spot. Not sure how well you can see that, but I have 2 loops tied on both ends on the main line and then also on the hook length. They are just connected with each other. Then I have my first split shot, then I have my second split shot. They are apart like 12 centimeters. And then I have my last split shot up here. This one is like 5 centimeters away from the hook. So even if I am a bit, you know, too deep, my bait will be on the bottom like this, and the last sinker will be maybe just slightly above the bottom or on the bottom, and then I can still fish properly. Fish on. Fish is on. Oh, that's a pretty nice rod. Look at that fella. That's not a bad fish at all. Today I keep catching this big rod, and I'm not very mad about that. Very happy about catching these over some small roach. But I'm almost done with my ground bait. I'm gonna mix that up and introduce some ground bait to the swim, and let's see what kind of fish can we catch then. Another fish is on. Oh, that's a tiny one. I put on 2 of the biggest pieces of corn I could find, and I catch this. Still a nice fish. You know, oddly enough, after I drew in that ground bait, I haven't had a single bite. So I think this bait is working perfectly. I have like 10-15 kilo carp down there right now somewhere, and the little fish are too scared to bite. At least that's what I like to tell myself right now. No way. I thought that was just snagged, but I actually have a tench on and loads of weeds. Let's go check that out. What is going on down there? I'm gonna grab my net very quickly. I literally didn't see a single bite. I just started, you know, dragging out because I thought I was snagged fully. Look at that, there's a tench in all of those weeds. And this tench is actually like a tiny bit bigger than the last one. I guess the strawberry bait is actually working well. Hey, second tench, and it's only 7:43 p.m. right now. That's good. It's not even the prime time for tench fishing right now. And for the hook bait, I have 2 pieces of corn. I put on one this way on the hook like this, slide it over, and then the second one I just put it in front of it on the hook, and that's that. Fish on this lake, they don't like when the hook is out, so I have to hide the hook every time. So in my opinion, this is probably the best way for me to do it right now, to actually catch some fish as well. Now let's catch another nice fish, please. Even though we've had like 4 very nice fish, 2 big rod and 2 tench, which I'm super happy about. 2 tench. Before today, this year I had 0 tench. Looks like another pretty decent fish on. Don't know what it is yet, but this is on a tendrabina. What is that even? Oh, it's a bream. Okay, we finally caught the bream I was after. The tiny bream, a skimmer. So worms are good for bream, and it feels like there's only bream right now on the bottom. Here we go. Species number 4. Well, there's so much slime, so maybe there's like loads of bream on the bottom right now, thanks to that bait. We'll have to check that out in a bit. But let's unhook this guy and put him back into the water. And here we go. I actually did hook into the fish. It's a pretty decent bream. It's actually a bit bigger than the last one. Not the biggest bream, but still, this is a fair bit nicer. And yeah, I missed my fight again because the GoPro wouldn't turn on recording. The bream over here are so slimy, it's insane. I'll release this guy quickly. Slimy fella, back you go, and there he goes. Yeah, plenty of energy in it, that thing. Look at all of this slime on the line. You always have to get rid of this, otherwise you will have 0 bites. Yeah, so much slime. I think they are super slimy right now because the water temperatures are very high. Hey, we filled up one of the activity rings. Let's go. Only 2 more to go. The pace of fishing has changed a bit. The wind is also picking up. I've got a few of these tiny rod, but nothing special in between. So let's hope we can get one more nice fish before we have to go home. But this fish, still a nice one. Tiny one, but a good one. Okay, we have a nice fish on. Not sure what it is. Maybe another bream. Okay, it is. It made my reel scream a bit at the beginning. It's another tiny one though. So where's the big ones? Hopefully I'll have a big one soon, but maybe I need to change the tactic. Maybe try 3 corn on a piece of size 10 hook. If I can fit 3 corn on, I don't even know. Let's see. Hey, that's a pretty decent rod actually once again. I got this on corn, and I also put on this krill spray that I bought from Lithuania. So very cool. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and YouTube also thinks you might like this video up there somewhere here. Yeah, over here.